In this video, I'm going to give you my top 5 predictions on why I think there won't be a housing crash in 2023. And make sure to stick around to the end as I'll give you my bonus prediction as well. Now, before we begin, this is just my personal opinion on how I see the market based on the data that we study, the actual experience received from the transactions we complete, and what our clients have to say, whether they're buyers, sellers, renters, or builders. And make sure to drop your comments below as what you might think will happen in 2023. Welcome back and thanks for tuning in. My name is Andrei with the Medow Group and we service Ottawa and surrounding areas, all things real estate. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and hitting that bell notification for upcoming content. And if after this video you might have some questions about the market, there's a link in the description below. So what happens now? How do you time the market going into 2023 if you're a buyer on the sidelines patiently waiting to make a move? The answer is you can't. But what you can do is consider the following predictions as we head into the new year. Number 1, interest rates will hover, and I believe we've seen the worst so far. 2022 was the most unpredictable year in real estate for all of Canada. Nobody saw what was coming. Not real estate agents, not mortgage brokers, and definitely not economists. We had 7 rate hikes and possibly more coming in 2023, but everything has a limit. As we reset our cycle, I expect interest rates to hover in 2023 and possibly even dip slightly by the end of the year. Not by much, but enough for buyer demand to return back to the market. These are the same buyers that are waiting and trying to time the market. As interest rates hover, the mentality is that now is the time to get into the market and secure a rate as they're not changing anymore. Number 2, pre-construction will still see consistent demand from buyers. One thing that we saw in 2022 was that the builders didn't drop their prices and there was still a lineup to get in. Smart buyers are taking advantage of what new build options have for them. It could be a discount on a current phase as they're trying to finish up the last of the inventory. Some have builder incentives or even locking in a rate for 2 years while your home is being built, and not to mention even easier and more flexible deposit structures. New build options do have a lot of flexibility for the buyer, something that resale didn't offer this year. I personally work with tons of builders and I was shocked at how fast condos moved this year. And I've talked about this in my previous videos as to why, and that is that condos are the ultimate entry point in the real estate market and an asset class that most income producers can afford, which as of today is around the $500,000 mark. Number 3, the rental market will heat up. The problem with our rental market is that just like resale, there isn't enough to go around. Before this year, it was the typical renters getting into the market, whether they didn't have enough for a down payment or waiting for their new home to be built. But now we have new categories of renters, and those include new immigration coming in at record numbers. The same ones that can't buy a home yet, as they need to be employed for a certain amount of time before being able to purchase. And don't forget the buyers that are convinced that now is not the time to buy a home, so I'll rent for a year to see what happens in the market. So all of a sudden we have more pressure and demand for a market that was never sustainable in the first place. This will unfortunately not help the prices either, and don't forget the amount of purpose-built rental buildings currently under construction that do not fall under rent control. Number 4, there will be more sales in 2023. And by sales, I mean the actual number of transactions. We saw record low transactions in 2022, and a lot of buyers were spooked by the market and rapid change in home prices and rates. But as our cycle resets and our rates will be more stabilized, buyers will re-enter the market with certainty. These are the same buyers that are waiting on the sidelines, pre-approved and ready to go. They just want to make sure that a drastic change won't happen when they buy a home. I don't think the number of transactions will be anywhere close to a record, but it will be more than what we had this year. Again, showing that certainty is back in the market. Number 5, we still have low inventory in 2023. Now, even though we are close to a balanced market, which is about 4 to 6 months of inventory, the reality is that we still cannot build as fast as the future demand. That includes new immigration coming into Ontario at record numbers, the government struggling to figure out a way to increase inventory with a number of different proposals, and sellers reconsidering listing their homes because they still think they're coming from a spoiled market and that their home should sell in a week. Don't forget ongoing labor and supply shortage for new builders, as a new home can take anywhere from 1 to 2 years for possession. Ottawa has been a seller's market for the last 25 years. It would take thousands of new listings to come onto the market to disrupt the inventory and give buyers the ultimate hand: timing. And the bonus prediction is that our condo market will see the most amount of action in 2023, as I think that we will have close to 50% of all transactions being condos. This is the only asset class that didn't see much change in terms of average price all year long, and one that guarantees entry into the market, as the appreciation for equity to build is definitely there. I think that buyers will understand that real estate is a long-term investment that is secured with great potential to upsize, and that you can't start off in the market with your dream home. There you have it, my top predictions for 2023. Let me know what you think, whether you agree or disagree. Looking forward to next year. Thanks for watching, and catch you in the next one.